A 13-year-old girl said goodbye to her boyfriend with a kiss. The terrifying part? Her boyfriend was already 40 years old. Her grandmother witnessed the entire scene.
What was that man doing to you?
Nothing.
What do you mean, nothing?
Years later, the grown-up girl, Jenny, had long since put that man out of her mind. That is, until one day when her mother was going through old things and found an essay Jenny had written at 13. Her mother believed her daughter had been violated, but Jenny thought her mom was overreacting. When Jenny was 13, her father had enrolled her in an equestrian camp. The riding instructor, Mrs. G, was the most beautiful woman she had ever seen. Mrs. G had a friend named Bill, a track coach, who at that time was Jenny's closest friend. Later, Bill became Jenny's first love. Everything was supposedly voluntary. How could it be considered abuse? Both of them treated Jenny with extraordinary gentleness. One day, 35 years ago, they invited Jenny to a meal, and Bill suddenly confessed to the young Jenny that he and Mrs. G were a couple. They explained that in friendship, equality and honesty were essential, and sharing secrets was the first step toward trust. From then on, Jenny often wrote them letters about her worries, and they always replied. Once, Jenny met a boy her own age who invited her to a fair. She excitedly told her mother, but was met with a harsh refusal. Her parents constantly argued at home, while Bill and Mrs. G would patiently listen to her feelings. This made Jenny increasingly reluctant to return home. Every Friday after school, she preferred spending the weekend at Mrs. G's farm. Her parents assumed she just loved horseback riding. They never suspected that their daughter was being lured into a trap. Jenny became addicted to Bill's false sincerity. One day, Bill suddenly suggested that Jenny stay at his house overnight so they could talk more comfortably. Mrs. G immediately understood his intention but let Jenny make her own choice. Jenny had actually wanted to refuse, but to prove her maturity, she accepted Bill's proposal. After Mrs. G left, Bill, under the guise of joking, began touching her. Then he brought out a poetry book and asked Jenny to read aloud to him. He placed a blanket over her, sat beside her, and suddenly confessed his feelings, letting her decide for herself. The 13-year-old Jenny couldn't recognize the trap. She thought Bill was respecting her choice and agreed. Later, Bill took her drinking. Everyone who witnessed their relationship knew what was happening but chose to look away. Bill even brazenly came to Jenny's house to pick her up, bringing flowers for her mother. Her mother felt uneasy, but her father dismissed it, thinking she was overthinking. Bill continued to escalate the relationship with Jenny openly, taking it to a terrifying level. When adult Jenny snapped out of the memory, her boyfriend was flipping through her diary. He immediately recognized that Jenny had been abused, but she fiercely denied it. Because deep down, she already knew she had been a victim, but refusing to accept the tragedy was a natural human instinct to protect oneself.